My name is Evan the Astro Kid, and I am here with my co-host,
The Duke.
And we have a Super Smash Brothers game in just a few minutes. We are in week 3 of the ECAC regular season, and we've got some exciting stuff. This is going to be Wayne State College versus our SAGU Esports Lions team. And I'm excited. How are you feeling?
I am so excited. This is quite the run back because, as some of you might know, this is the run back from Grands from last season. So, granted, this is not the grand final tournament or whatever, but we get to play them and hope to beat them or do better than we did last semester.
Absolutely. And this being kind of like a, next semester rematch, there's a lot of weight on this, but some things are different.
It's true.
I heard that one of their key players has now either graduated or moved on or of the sorts. And so now SAGU's looking, up and ready and may possibly take this week 3 victory and continue their undefeated streak of being 3-0, as both teams right now are both 2 wins, 0 losses. But just to recap from last week, our SAGU Lions played against Illinois Wesleyan, taking the win against them. And that was another one of those pivotal rematches from the previous semester.
Yeah.
And Talo Halo, BKR, Efer all doing a really phenomenal job. And we are excited to get this game going. But just for all of you viewers who have no idea what this Super Smash Brothers Ultimate game is, I'm going to go into a little how-to just for anyone who may be confused. So this game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, is known as a platform fighter where you play a character on a floating platform and try to hit the other characters off said platform to win. You can win by either a point system or a limited life system, with the most common being each character has a limited amount of lives, and in this game they're referred to as stocks. There is also an invisible wall or barrier right outside the view of the screen, and if you get knocked into said invisible barrier, you lose a stock, and it goes all the way around, even the bottom. Each time your character gets hit, you have a percentage associated with your character that will increase. This percentage can be seen at the bottom of your screen. Your character's percentage is the one next to your character's little picture icon. The more that percentage increases, the more you fly back from each successive hit you receive, making it easier for the opponent to knock you into the invisible barrier and make you lose one of your stocks. Each character has a basic amount of 27 button press combinations, or in this game they're known as moves, that they can use to increase the percentage on the opponent and knock them into the barrier. Some characters have additional moves that are specific to their character, while others have just the basic 27 moves. But each character's moves, even the basic 27, are unique and function differently from all other 86 characters in the game. There are different shapes and sizes of platforms that can be chosen, and these are known as stages. In the basic game, there are 103 stages you can choose to play in, but in competitive Smash Brothers, which is what we're doing now,
Correct.
There are only 8 legal stages. This allows competitive games to be fair for all players and characters, and each stage has different elements like smaller platforms, moving platforms, and different size barriers that can make the game more dynamic. Now, for the ECAC Super Smash Brothers Ultimate competition, we are doing what is known as a crew battle rule set for this game. Now, in a crew battle, there are 2 teams with 3 players on each team, and each player with their own character that they play. Each player has 3 stocks, giving 9 stocks in total for the team as a whole. The first 2 players fight each other, trying to take the other player's 3 stocks. Once one player loses all 3 of their stocks, that team rotates to the next player in order. Teams don't move on to the next player until the current player loses all 3 of their stocks. And then the team to make the other team lose all 9 of their stocks wins the set, and you must win 2 sets out of the 3 to win the game. And this kind of helps create this teamwork aspect, because you can have one person playing against all 3 of the other opponents taking 5, 6, 7 stocks, and the other team just keeps rotating through their players. And the first person, if they don't lose their stocks, they stay in and they keep playing. And especially if someone earlier on gets a really big run and is really in a good headspace, that can be a huge game changer, because now you have all these stocks to work with, whereas the other team is getting the stocks are essentially the resource of this game, and you are trying to whittle them down to 0 to take the win. But this is going to be really, really cool. For the SAGU lineup, we have Talo Halo, who is playing his infamous Misor fighter, and he is going to be our anchor, which is the usual. Well, actually, we don't officially know this, but I'm making assumptions here.
It's true.
I'm making assumptions. There's a whole strategic opponent when it comes to matchups, who goes first, who goes last, and a lot of those can play into how this game progresses. But just off of my just out of the blue intuition, You know, from
Yes.
recent history.
But here's the thing about Wayne State is Wayne State has been the one school in this league that has made SAGU like have to question how they work and make different changes, I would say, to kind of some strategy. So I'm really excited to see what the Lions plan on doing.
Okay, that's fair. So whoever goes when, we have Taylor Halo on Mii Sword Fighter. He is absolutely phenomenal. He plays all around the DFW area, and his Mii Sword Fighter, in my opinion, is the best in the world.
I think so.
Really, really strong, really consistent. He's got a great play style of playing patient, waiting for the other opponent to make a move first, and then just kind of hitting his game plan as hard as he can until he takes a stock. Next, we have BKR on Diddy Kong. Very good Diddy Kong. Probably the best Diddy Kong that I know personally. And he just has this really aggressive yet really patient play style, and he very much plays to his own tempo. And it's really strong, especially if you can catch the opponent off guard and learn their play style and get the edge. And then we also have Efer playing Luigi. Luigi is a very combo-heavy character, and if you don't know what combo means, it's when you are able to do a move that leads into a second move, and a third, and a fourth, and that can turn into what is known as a combo. And Luigi is a kind of character where if you can hit very specific moves, you can usually get multiple moves after that. And it can be really, really strong.
Yeah.
And we have seen Efer just absolutely crank up that win knob and take entire sets almost.
He is the king of misfires. What can I say?
Yes. Luigi, the character he plays, one of his mechanics is he can shoot out like a rocket, and there's a 10% chance he basically does a bunch of damage, goes really fast. It's known as a misfire, and he just finds a way to hit that 10%.
He likes rolling the dice, and he's really good at it.
Yeah, you don't think someone could be good at luck, but we see it happen all the time. But we're actually about to get into this first game. And apparently it looks like BKR is starting. Now for the WSC lineup, we have Chef Louis, phenomenal player. He's been playing for quite a while. He played last semester in grand finals and the other times that SAGU Lions played them. And he is a really, really strong Terry player. But I've heard some whispers that he may pull out another character today.
We'll see.
So we will just have to see what kind of matchup we're looking at here. But their next player for the WSC lineup is 2-week-old Pickle. Very wonderful, unique username that is just so splendid. And then Egg 2. I don't know what happened to Egg 1, but he's not here. Here we have Egg 2. And these three make up the WSC lineup, and this is going to be a very good match. The Duke, what is your prediction for this game? I'm very curious.
Okay, so here's the thing, is Wayne State and how Wayne State has played in the majority of the matches that I have witnessed them play in the previous seasons have played with two really, really amazing, solid players who would play at the beginning and at the end. And so they would kind of rotate out their middle player, and we would always see, either Chef Louis starting, and then they have a player, and then they had a Ridley as an anchor at the very, very end of for a while, but that Ridley, as far as I'm aware, is no longer playing and no longer competing, whether that is just because they're off the team or because they've graduated. But it's definitely going to have to change their play style, and they're going to have to kind of move around the fact that they don't have that player anymore. So they're going to have to bring somebody else in and then base how they line up their players around that.
Absolutely. Honestly, I am hoping for a really strong performance from Efer and BKR. We know that Taylor's consistent. We know that he can get the games and get the stocks. We're not worried about him. And BKR and Efer, they have so much potential. Their play styles, their dynamic with each other has been just growing, has been going higher and higher. And I think, personally, it's going to go 3-0. I really do.
I would love to see it.
I think it's going to be a 3-0 SAGU Lions sweep. That's going to be my prediction for this. What about you? Oh, my apologies. I was just told that this is a best of 3.
You know what I think it is? I think it's going to be a 2-0.
You think it's going to be a 2-0?
Just because it's a best of... No.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, my prediction is going to be a 2-0. I think that the SAGU Lions are going to take all games, and I really don't think they're going to slip. All of them are in the right headspace. They're ready to play. They're ready to game. And I don't know. I've just got a lot of high hopes for our guys right now.
I mean, they've been practicing the matchups. They've been playing online, which is a very different game than in person just because some of the lag. We've talked about that on a previous stream of the games.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it looks like that we are going into what appears to be a lag test just to test if the internet connection is stable or not. That's why we see the ice climbers popping out.
Yes, of course. Just to reiterate, the lag is basically the internet gamer term for delay. And when a game is lagging, it can really dampen the competitive atmosphere and the competitive playstyle because it's so hard to play when you push something, it doesn't work, things are slow, it's not responding, because these games happen in milliseconds.
Yeah.
It is a very fast-paced, very quick-action game, so if things are slowed down against your will, it can completely throw off your entire playstyle. So a lot of times, like we're seeing here, is they'll do a lag test where they'll go into a game just for fun, just to see how things are feeling. And if it looks like the internet connection is good, things are quick, things are responsive, then they'll go ahead and start the first match. But
again, this is not game one.
Absolutely no. This is from what we assume just a test. And as you can see, they're just kind of running around, doing moves, making sure things are responsive, and double checking that all is well with the internet connection so that they can play a fast-paced, balanced, fun, competitive Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Yeah, which quite honestly, it looks like there's really no latency. I mean, sure, there's going to be some, but it looks like it's really, really, quick and responsive. So
yeah.
I'm really excited for these next couple games.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm very, very excited. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. As we said, this is the SAGU Esports Network. My name is Evan the Astro Kid.
I'm the Dude.
And we've got a really cool game coming up here in just a minute or two. But as we're waiting for this game, I want to ask you, when it comes to character matchups, I feel like that's going to play a really big part in this game. What is something to look for when thinking up a game plan? Because game plan is everything. How you're going to go into a match, the strategies beforehand. What do you think is going to be able to get them the win here?
I mean, past experience, really. Because if you think about it this way, you have, your character that you're really, really practicing with, and you're going to obviously have characters that you've practiced against more than others, just because that's how it works. You play against certain people who play certain characters, and so it's going to be, who do you have experience against, and do you know how that other player fights with their character?
Absolutely. And these guys have played a whole lot of Super Smash Bros., so we're hoping this past experience can get them the win. But we're going to hop into game one right here, and we are seeing an Incineroar, which is very, very interesting. I'm going to assume that this is not Chef Louie. I don't know if this is one of their other players that is in the game right now, 2-week-old Pickle or Egg 2. But as we can see, BKR with his Diddy Kong is getting a really strong start. One of Diddy Kong's abilities is he can grab a banana and throw it at the opponent, which causes them to fall over and basically puts them in a position where they can't do anything. Now, this can be really strong for Diddy Kong as it allows him to get attacks in while the opponent is essentially stunned.
Yeah.
And BKR using full effect of that banana and using it to its complete advantage. We're seeing him get up to getting this Incineroar to 103%. And right now, and there it is, the banana into the forward smash.
It's a true combo.
Absolutely. It's pretty much guaranteed. When we use the word true combo, it's essentially a move that leads into another move that you are guaranteed to get. And those can be absolutely pivotal. And unfortunately, it looks like we're seeing a little bit of lag here, but I think it's starting to level out. But once again, BKR with his Diddy Kong in this really aggressive play style where he throws his banana trying to catch you off guard, using it as a means to halt you, stop you, keep you from getting good stage control, which is a really part of this game. Stage control is how much of the stage is available to you, depending on where you are in the stage, and that can change an entire game.
Well, and you also have to think that the main goal of the game is to, 1, stay on the stage, and to 2, knock your opponent outside of the invisible boundaries that we were talking about earlier, because that's how you get your KOs and how you take away stocks in order to win the game. Another thing that I wanted to touch up on quickly, just for those of you who kind of want to understand the banana aspect of the gameplay, you're going to see a little red arrow in front of the banana. And if you also look, Diddy Kong has a red arrow above him, as where Incineroar is going to have a blue one. That will indicate who has possession of the banana and who will slip on it. So if there's a red arrow, it means that the opponent is going to slip on it. And if there's a blue arrow, it means that you are going to slip on it because it is their banana that they threw.
Yes. And usually when you play on a local game, which is when you're playing on your Switch and not over the internet, the red player is usually player 1 and the blue player is player 2, and their BKR goes for the banana in the forward smash. And as we said, it's a true combo. You're guaranteed to get it, and that forward smash attack is so strong. If you're above 90%, it's pretty much a guaranteed stock. BKR trying to go for the spike. And for all of you viewers at home, a spike is when you hit someone downward when they're off stage. And spikes are really strong because they can kill at very early percents. It doesn't take a whole lot to kill off of a spike.
True.
And there BKR goes with that banana into forward smash. Very, very strong. Trying to get it again, but this Incineroar was able to move out of the way just in time. And the Incineroar capitalizing on the opening against BKR and getting the up smash and taking that stock. But as of right now, BKR playing his banana. But as you saw there, the Incineroar was able to grab the banana for himself, and he threw it back at Diddy Kong, and it tripped him up, and now BKR at 33% and making really good use of the stage control and not getting the stock off of that up smash attack. And BKR going for the side special, which for Diddy Kong, you jump sideways and latch onto them, and with that banana trip into the forward smash, he's going to take that final stock. And there we see BKR showing a really strong performance in this game 1. And I believe he still had 1, maybe 2. Did he have 2 stocks left?
I believe he had 1.
I think he had 1 stock there, which is really, really good. That puts SAGU at a pretty strong advantage, especially if BKR can take a stock in this next game ahead of this other player. That would be absolutely huge. But right now, SAGU at 7 stocks, Wayne State at 6 stocks. It's a good game.
It's close.
Yes, it is very close. And Wayne State, honestly, that Incineroar did a really good job. Incineroar has a move where when you try to hit him, this move is kind of in the vein of like a counter attack, but Incineroar's is a little different, where when someone hits him with this move, he kind of becomes like supercharged. And the next type of move that he does will be even more damage and will have more knockback. So what Incineroar can do is Incineroar, when Diddy Kong, when BKR plays Diddy Kong and he's about to throw the banana, this Incineroar can do that charge-up move so that when he gets hit by the banana, he doesn't get tripped, but instead he uses it to make himself stronger. And I saw the Incineroar do that quite a lot, and it was really, really well played by him.
That move is called Revenge, and a lot of Incineroar's gameplay is revolved around Revenge, because you can also use that in other moves to amplify the power output that they have. So kind of like using your opportunities to gain revenge and then to also use it, you can really take some stocks at some really low percentages that normally you wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, and it's a very good move, and Incineroar's, as he said, their whole game plan revolves around it, and
for the most part.
For the most part. And this player, I don't know if it was 2-week-old Pickle, Egg 2, or Chef Louie, but whoever it was, they did a very, very good job, and we're playing that really well. But now we're going to get into this second game here, and BKR coming back, and because he ended the last game still with 1 stock left, he will enter this game with 1 stock.
Correct.
And if the player on the other team can take that stock from him without losing a stock, then that next game will be played by the next player of the SAGU Lions versus this player on WSC, and WSC will have 3 stocks. But I think this is possibly Chef Louie, because we were talking about Chef Louie maybe playing Banjo-Kazooie. Right. And this character is very interesting. This character is a part of what we talked about last week of downloadable content, or DLC, which is a character that you can buy after the normal game that is kind of like an add-on. And this character is from another game known as Banjo-Kazooie. And Banjo-Kazooie has a really interesting playstyle because Banjo-Kazooie doesn't have a whole lot of combos. You kind of just have to hit stuff.
It's a game of reads. I mean, granted, there are combos like, 1 or 2 or 3 hits that lead into each other, but for the most part, you're kind of just fishing for harder hitting moves that your player or your opponent isn't really going to expect.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this game, a read is where you basically read your opponent, like in a lot of in games like chess and sports, where you're able to predict what your opponent's going to do, and that side be not able to kill And BKR is staying in it just for a little longer. We'll see if he can take a stock before going down. But yeah, a read is where you basically are able to predict what your opponent is going to do before they do it, and it allows you to usually get a really strong hit in a way that is a huge benefit to yourself and can possibly even take a stock. But right here, we're seeing BKR trying to maybe take that stock from Chef Louis. And Chef Louis now having stage control, keeping BKR off stage. But BKR coming back, playing really well, able to keep himself alive and keep his stock going. And if he can take one stock before going out, that would be really huge for the SAGU Lions here. And BKR playing really patient. He's not committing to anything. And getting the forward smash, it's not able to take the stock just yet. But he still has banana, which could be really big. Which could allow him to... Oh, but there's that upward tilt attack, and that thing can take a stock at a really low percentage if you can hit it right. The problem with that move, though, is it's got such a small area where it can actually hit you that you have to be really precise with it, which Chef Louis was very, very precise.
It's true.
So now we are going into the next match, which it looks like it's going to be Efer. So this is going to be Efer versus who I assume is Chef Louis. And they will each be starting with 3 stocks. Because unfortunately, BKR was not able to take a stock off of Chef Louis in this last matchup. But I'm really hoping to see an absolute dominating performance from Efer. I think this is going to be a good game because, you know, he's just got that switch where he'll have these games and it will just be like you can't even do anything against his entire game plan. You don't have a second to think or anything, and it's honestly pretty wild to play against.
He puts on a lot of pressure with Luigi, and so kind of like knowing where you're going from that or reading where your opponent's going to be moving. I think it's going to be a game of a lot of lateral combos and gameplay.
Yeah, I think that for him to be able to get his combo starters, which, as I said, you know, there are very specific moves that can lead into other moves, and there are very specific moves that can start those combo chains. And for Efer, I think his whole game plan is going to revolve around these combo starters. For him, it's his plunger, which allows him to grab the opponent from a range, which can be very, very important. Also, his grab plunger has a very special mechanic where it'll pop off and actually have and it actually hurts the opponent a little bit and can kind of stutter them, which can give you just enough time to get another move or reposition yourself, which can be very important. And this grab plunger combo starter, as well as his up special, which is this huge uppercut that can kill it. Really low percentages. I'm hoping that we can see Efer really put in a strong performance here. But we are going to go into this game, this match 3 of game 1. And it looks like they're both playing a pretty heavy neutral. Chef Louis running in with his neutral aerial attack, which is that spinning attack. Very, very strong. And Efer trying to get a foothold, trying to get these combo starters, and there he goes. Oh, and hoping to get that up special as we were talking about, but not able to connect it. And right now, Chef Louis at 80%. And unable to... I was about to say unable to get back on stage, but then he does his side B, which is that glowing golden charge attack.
Wonder Wing.
It's known as Wonder Wing, and it's really, really good. It does a bunch of damage, and it's super strong, but you only have a limited amount of uses. And then you cannot use it anymore until you lose a stock and are back at 0%. So as you can see above him, after he does that move, there's a certain amount of golden feathers. And once you get down to 0 feathers, you can no longer do that move because it's so strong. But here we see both of them at 120%. And both of them are kind of hoping for a really big, strong attack as Chef Louis is able to get with the up smash, taking that stock off of Efer. But Chef Louis at 120%. A lot of things could kill him right now. So all Efer has to do is hit one of those moves that can do a lot of damage, and there's that stock. But Chef Louis playing smart, playing patient, sitting on ledge and poking with his, I don't know what they're called, the eggs, and doing a lot of small damage. There you go, Efer trying to get a foothold here, trying to take that stock and even up the stocks amongst him and Chef Louis, but Chef Louis not making it easy. He's creating this wall of projectiles, so it's hard for Efer to get in and close the gap. And he's throwing out these strong attacks, hoping that they will connect, but we're not seeing anything being landed just yet. Getting him up in the air. Oh, and that grenade that he had, able to kind of stop Efer from actually getting any kind of follow-up there. And he has used all of his Wonder Wings, so now he can no longer use that move. But Efer taking the stock, that means Chef Louis, Banjo-Kazooie, now has all of his Wonder Wings again. And Efer at 89%. But he gets the grab. He's able to get some of those combos off, getting Chef Louis at 26. But this is a scary spot for Efer. He doesn't have a lot of wiggle room. And because he has such a limited area of the stage to work with, he's going to have to work really hard to try and not get his stock taken, but that forward smash covers so much area of the stage. And Chef Louis getting the grab off of the bomb.
Yeah, after the great drag down that was...
Oh! But okay, not able to take the stock, but oh, the up special. You see, when he does his up special move, there's this little platform that'll appear underneath him.
Yeah.
And that can actually do damage. And what happened, Efer was trying to get back onto the stage, but because that little platform thing hit him, it stuttered him just long enough to where he fell down and lost the stock. So unfortunately, he was only able to take 1 stock, and that puts Wayne State at 5 stocks and SAGU at 3. But next up, we have Talo Halo, and if this man can do anything, it's take a whole lot of stocks.
It's true. It's true. We call it the Talo Halo 7 for a reason.
Yeah, he's done that multiple times. Taken 6, 7. I don't think he's taken 8 stocks yet, but one day.
No, but there's always room for improvement.
There's always room for... He could be better. He could be so much better.
Man, if only he wasn't so great already.
Yeah, if only he wasn't just such a phenomenal player that literally does so amazing every game. Wow. Imagine that.
Imagine.
But Talo Halo with his Mii Sword Fighter coming in this game, we are very, very excited because, I mean, with him going to local tournaments in the area, with him practicing as much as he does, and, I mean, he even said earlier today, he is in the zone. He's got his head in the game, and he's ready to play. He's ready to rock and roll. And, I don't know, Mii Sword Fighter, Banjo-Kazooie, what does that matchup look like?
Honestly, I really don't know. And here's why. Because there's probably 5 people that play Mii Sword Fighter and about 6 people that play Banjo-Kazooie, respectively, competitively.
Right.
So I don't see it a lot. I mean, nobody sees it a lot.
Yeah.
But.
And from what we're looking at right now, they are... these two characters are both so patient, and they spend a lot of time throwing out these projectiles, hoping for these combo starters. So we might be seeing kind of a longer match here as these two characters are very loading screen in the corner, and this game is barely moving. And we hope this lag can get sorted out before they actually start playing, because, you know, if the lag gets bad enough, the game can become basically unplayable. But all right, it looks like they were able
to have resolved itself.
It looks like they were able to sort it out. And as of right now, nobody's doing anything.
Looks like they're going through some communications with each other, whether or not they want to close out that arena or not to restart. Looks like they are opting to retry and hope for a better connection.
Yeah, so you'll see this a good bit, especially if there's a lot of lag or latency or a delay between the two games playing over the internet, or the one game with the two consoles playing over the internet, is that if the game that they had made for some reason wasn't on a good connection, then they will start a new game and hope that maybe it's a little better. But as we can see here, because the Banjo-Kazooie lost 1 stock in the last game, he will have to reset himself down to 2 stocks. And as we can see, it's looking
much better.
So much better, so much cleaner. And as they taunt, they are going to get into this game. And Talo playing a very patient play style. And Banjo-Kazooie has a lot to work with. He has a lot of utility because he can shoot out these little grenades and hold them. And if you run up to him and try to hit him while he's holding one, then you will end up getting hit, and it can stop any attempt at a combo or some move that you were trying to do. But Talo showing a really strong performance right now. He's holding really great stage control because Banjo and Kazooie is so far towards the edge and Talo is more towards the middle. He has a lot of this the stage that he can work with, and that limits Chef Louie's options. But Chef Louie opting for the side B Wonder Wing to try and get some damage in. Both of them are throwing out a lot of projectiles. And this looks to be like a pretty even game. They are both playing really, really well. And both playing their playstyles really well. Talo Halo getting a strong chain of projectiles, and him getting the tornado into the upward aerial attack, which for me, Sword Fighter is one of the few moves that can consistently take stocks
in a certain range, because you have the opportunity where they get hit by that tornado at a certain percent, and it just sends them in the right perfect place to get hit by that up air, but the up air will kill.
Absolutely, and there you see it again. So Mii Sword Fighter, one of his moves that he can throw out, that giant tornado, for the most part, it has a set knockback to where even if you go up to a higher percentage, where most moves, if you're at a higher percentage, you will get thrown back farther. But this tornado move has a pretty consistent knockback. So at certain percentages, because of how and where it shoots you upward, Mii Sword Fighter is able to get an upward aerial attack, which at around 80 to 100%, 80 to 110, maybe if you're lucky, can take the stock and net you that win. But it looks like Talo Halo trying to hold on to that stock if he could, but Chef Louie, a really good player, and Talo not getting the strong hit on his up air there. And Chef Louie's playing really patient, trying to shoot out these projectiles as best he can, trying not give up this remaining stock, and hopefully take another stock of his own, but Talo Halo not making it easy. But there's that last Wonder Wing. And so now his options are a lot more limited, because that is one of Banjo-Kazooie's best moves, honestly.
Yeah.
And since he has now run out, but getting a good grenade there, trying to come back to stage, and Talo Halo with that backward aerial attack able to take that stock. And so we're going to go into this final match of this game, where we're seeing Wayne State with 3 stocks, their last player, versus Talo Halo with 2. And we'll see how this goes. I thought Talo did great.
Yeah.
Both playing very, very patient. I think that Chef Louie on his Banjo-Kazooie is really strong. He's able to kind of keep the pressure on you from afar, so he remains safe at a distance while you keep taking damage. But also, that is Talo Halo's essential game plan.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
It was a game of constant pressure and trying to move around those hitboxes. And another thing that I think we have yet to see in the competition so far is Talo Halo using a Mii Sword Fighter with the reflector. And that really, in a couple instances, at least in an early game, really kind of turned the tides in his advantage, because he was able to completely reverse all of the grenade throws that Chef Louie was to throw out. And, yeah, kind of picked up the pace for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopping into this final match, I really think Talo Halo, being as consistent as he is, as strong as he is, I mean, just that last time, he was able to take 2 whole stocks off of Chef Louie, who is a really good player, and him only losing 1. And I'm hoping to see a really strong performance from Talo Halo, but I don't know, we could see a WSC player. I don't know if it's pickle or egg, but
Egg 2 specifically.
Egg 2. Don't get confused.
Yeah.
But seeing one of them, we could see one of them just have a really strong performance and know this Mii Sword Fighter matchup, which is not common, but it happens.
It does happen.
Because there aren't a lot of people that play Mii Sword Fighter, but I mean, there are some people that have enough experience to where they just know the matchup like the back of their hand. And that's something you always have to worry about, because you never know the kind of matchups that your opponent has played in. And even if they have, even if they have all this experience, maybe they don't have it in a certain area, maybe they have an excess in this one specific matchup, you never know.
It's true.
You never know. But we are about to get into this match. It looks like they are still talking it over with the other team about, what stage they're going to pick and just different little detail stuff before we get into this game.
Well, that's another thing to consider within character matchups. There's also character stage matchups. So we've already said that there's 8 legal stages, and each player is going to, or their character is going to do better on a certain set of stages against a certain set of characters. So stage bans are pivotal, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they're really, really important. And, we're seeing the Terry. I think this is Chef Louis. This might be.
There we go.
Yeah, Chef Louis being one of the best Terry players out there, aside from, some professionals. Riddles, to name one. But the thing about Halo is he knows this matchup really well, and he's got a really solid game plan, as we can see here. Chef Louis at 90% already, and Talo almost taking the stock there, but Chef Louis with his go. The thing about Terry is once he reaches 100%, he has what's known as his go, and it basically supercharges a lot of his attacks to doing more damage, like that power geyser. And right now Talo, from that one attack, went from about 30% to 68, but it wasn't enough. Halo getting that backward aerial attack and taking the stock off of Chef Louis. And we'll see if Chef Louis is able to close out. He's able to close out this game. But right now they're both at 2 stocks. And if Talo can take that, Talo going down to 1 last stock. We'll see if he's got to take the next 2 off of Chef Louis, off of Wayne State, if they want to win this game in this best of 3. Talo throwing out projectiles. Really solid game plan. Chef Louis playing patient, holding out his shield. And as we talked about last week, the shield is the little bubble that prevents you from getting hit by attacks. And the one thing that can beat the shield, I guess, is if you run up and you grab them, which is one of the moves that you can do.
Correct.
But Halo playing the ledge really well. Throwing out his tornadoes, throwing out his chakrams, which is that little disc projectile. Both of which are very good, very strong. Getting a lot of mileage out of these projectiles and hoping to get one of these combo starters, as we had talked about earlier. And that was almost enough to take the stock, but it wasn't enough. Halo getting him to 134%. With Chef Louis holding on to that stock for dear life. But there it is, the up smash after the parry. The cool thing about your shield is there's something you can do that's known as a parry, where if you let go of the shield within, I believe it's, I don't remember how many frames, but if you let go of your shield within a very, very quick response, like a very, very quick amount of time after the move connects, you do what's known as a parry, and it lets you do an attack a lot quicker than your opponent. And Chef Louis trying to take this last stock off of Halo, but Halo not giving it up, getting Chef Louis up to kill percent, both of which could die from anything at this point right now. And Chef Louis not being able to connect that final hit of his combo. And we'll see whoever is able to hit this. And Halo going for the grab. It's not able to take the stock. Chef Louis trying to recover. Halo playing the stage. This is a very good spot for Halo to be in. And opting to go for the forward tilt and not connecting. Chef Louis trying to get some of these combo starters. The power geyser not connecting. And with Chef Louis' go, this is very scary for both players. Halo at 182%. But now Halo has stage control. And
oh no,
that is unfortunate.
It really is.
That was known as an SD or a self-destruct.
My heart.
Yeah, that was
pounding.
very tense. Oh man, Halo at 182%. That's crazy. And him not being, and Chef Louis just not able to take that stock. Halo played that final stock so well. He was being super patient.
Close to immaculate.
Yeah, like
there were a couple instances where Chef Louis definitely outplayed Halo, but Halo was able to recover from that in a way that he wasn't able to get hit by any kill options, and he was able to run away and throw something out, which is an optimized way to play this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Taylor Halo sticking to his game plan, playing patient, playing back, throwing out projectiles, hoping for these combo starters. He does so well. And for Chef Louis, that unfortunate SD, that's going to cost them. That means they lost that game 1. And now going into game 2, SAGU has a 1-0 lead. And this is a best of 3, as I did not mention before, but did mention before. This is a best of 3. So for a team to win 2 games, they win.
Yep.
And now SAGU only has to win 1 more game. If they can do that, that's this week win. And so we're going to see if SAGU is able to pull off this second game or if we're going to go to a game 3. It's going to take a lot for Wayne State. They last semester were the reigning national champions. And
it's true.
For SAGU to get a win here, that would be huge.
That's huge. Yeah. And especially since it's the run-back game, because we came second last season. So to beat them now this early in the season, that's huge for SAGU Lions.
Yeah, it would be a really big win. This would be a huge boost of momentum, huge boost for morale, just to really solidify all the work they've put on up until this point, because they put in a lot of work. I think that they can do it. I know they can do it. They deserve the win. But Wayne State, they're not an easy opponent.
To overcome the state championship, the state champions, that's
a big deal.
That's a big deal.
All right, and we are going to hop into this game 1. It looks like both teams are opting to start who played second last time. So here we've got, I don't believe this is Chef Louis. I don't know who this is, but them having a Banjo and Kazooie player. And then up for the SAGU Lions, Efer starting out. Very strong start. Efer having played really well against this Banjo-Kazooie last time. Both playing patient, and there's that Wonder Wing doing a lot of damage. It is pretty safe, all things considered, if you time it right.
It's true.
Because it carries you so far. But
it has so much killing potential and power,
Yeah. It can take stocks pretty early. But both players playing a pretty aggressive game. For the most part, they've been in each other's face basically this whole time.
Yeah.
This Banjo-Kazooie opting to go for a forward smash and not connecting, and Efer getting a good combo. Going for the down special, that Tornado from Luigi. And right now we're seeing a pretty even game. And if Efer can take this stock, or if this Banjo-Kazooie can take the stock, we'll see a pretty present and beneficial advantage here. But both players now playing a little bit more cautious, going for the Wonder Wing. Luckily, it was able to connect. But Efer now being pressured on towards ledge, getting a misfire.
Oh, but that misfire hit the egg, and the egg stopped his forward momentum.
Wow. It's amazing how even such a small move like that egg can really stop you from getting back and recovering properly. But Efer getting good ledge pressure, hoping to take the stock, not enough. Banjo-Kazooie only has 1 Wonder Wing left. And we'll see if they're able to use it before Efer can take the stock from them. But this Banjo-Kazooie player is playing really, really strong. They're getting a lot of these combos that they need. Is able to disrupt Efer's game plan, and we'll see if he can take this first stock off of this Banjo-Kazooie player. And there he goes. Getting good stage control. Pressuring the Banjo-Kazooie towards ledge. Was a great spot for Luigi. Except, man, this Banjo-Kazooie with all these projectiles, it can be hard for him to
navigate.
To navigate that, to get some clear momentum. And Efer doing everything in his power to try and take this first stock. This Banjo-Kazooie playing really, really well, pressuring as best he can. And we'll see if they are able to maybe take the stock from Efer before he can take it from the Banjo-Kazooie. And going for the dash attack, and it's able to kill. He was at, what, 144%?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good percentage for a stock, but now it's reset his Wonder Wing. He's got all 5 back, and that's scary for Efer as he gets forward smashed at ledge, dying at 100%. That Banjo-Kazooie forward smash is really strong.
It happens.
Yeah, now this Banjo-Kazooie a whole stock ahead, but that's the thing about Luigi. He just needs 1 combo, and we're back up to a 1-1.
It's true.
So we'll see if he can get these combo starters. There he goes with the grab, trying to go for the aerials. They're not connecting. These aerial attacks are really strong. An aerial attack is basically an attack you do in the air. And Luigi's aerial attacks are very, very strong. It's one of the 4 that he has are some of his 4 strongest moves out of the 27 basic moves he has available to him. But this Banjo-Kazooie not giving him a chance to breathe. Playing really strong, but Efer getting a good shield against that Wonder Wing. See, the thing about Wonder Wing is it has really good knockback and kill potential, but it doesn't do a whole lot against shield. So if you can shield against the Wonder Wing, you're in a pretty good spot.
You're pretty safe from it. But again, if it hits you, that's big damage and that's big knockback.
Yes, and depending on the percentage, your stock is basically gone. But hoping for the Wonder Wing kill, and the forward smash not connecting. That was very, very close. Efer having a chance here. Gray shield, not able to get the up smash, or up B, and getting the Cyclone, I believe it's called, that down B. And now Efer's in a good spot to try and maybe punish and get a stock, get that second stock off of this Banjo-Kazooie.
Looks like he's trying to play it safe here.
Oh, and there he goes, not losing the stock just yet. This Banjo-Kazooie playing ledge really well. And Efer doing everything he can to recover.
Yep.
And there it is, the Banjo-Kazooie up smash attack, really strong. Banjo-Kazooie, when he grabs you, one of his moves is that he can push you into the ground and you're buried and you have to do what's known as mashing, where you spam as many buttons as you can to try and get out before they hit you. Now, Banjo-Kazooie has that kick, that upward kick, and that in like the middle earlier percentages usually can be really strong, but once you get to the later percentage, an up smash is more than enough to take the stock, and that's what we saw happen.
Yeah.
So right now, SAGU down to 6 stocks, Wayne State only at 8. They've got a little bit of work cut out for them. We'll see if BKR and Talo Halo can kind of make up the difference, because Efer did really, really good, but it just wasn't enough. He wasn't able. Yeah. It's really hard against that Banjo and Kazooie because there's so many projectiles. He has so much available to him to keep you away, and it can be hard to close the gap and get these combos they need.
Well, also, Luigi's not, the fastest character, so it's really hard to try to maneuver around the stage. And granted, it is possible, it's just very, very difficult to do so. Yeah,
he's not super fast. He's fast enough. He's not super fast. He's not really quick. His fastest things are probably his aerials, and if he can get a misfire, which the one he did get was unfortunately shut out by the egg, which is very unfortunate.
Which it might have also killed him because he might have gotten stuck under stage, but I've seen Efer come back from worse misfires.
Yes, Efer usually does pretty good at making the misfire valuable and worth it, but that was just a lose-lose situation no matter what.
Just unfortunate.
But we're going to go into the second match. We've got BKR versus this Banjo and Kazooie, and we're going to see if BKR can reset these stocks and maybe put SAGU in a lead if he can. But it's Banjo-Kazooie going down to 2 stocks. And we're getting into this game. It's Banjo-Kazooie opting for a really aggressive start, going for these neutral aerials, but BKR getting a good banana and using his side B kick. It's known as monkey flip, the one where he jumps towards them very quickly. That move right there. And BKR uses it very well. It's one of Diddy Kong's strongest moves because it's quick, it's fast, it does damage, it can grab you.
It's versatile, yeah.
It's very, very versatile, and it's got a lot of uses. But going for the banana there and getting a good 75% in the start. Really good for BKR. Great place to be in. And this Banjo-Kazooie using the Wonder Wing to reposition himself, which I assume was the strategy there. Going back to a place where he can pressure from a distance, but that's the thing about Diddy Kong, is Diddy Kong can run in with that monkey flip, and after that forward smash, not able to get the stock. But BKR needing just one more move, one more good smash attack to take the stock and bring him down to 1 remaining. We'll see if he's able to take it while keeping a decent amount of percentage for himself. BKR playing really well here, avoiding these projectiles and getting that banana forward smash as we talked about.
It's the signature combo.
Very, very strong. Now BKR getting some good combo strings.
Great use of shield too.
Absolutely. BKR knows how to shield, when to shield, how long to shield. He's very good at stuff like that. See, these Super Smash Bros. Players, they have so many things they're thinking about.
Yeah.
They're thinking about all of their moves and all of their options. They're thinking about all the opponent's moves and all the opponent's options, and all the little nuances that can play into just every single possible interaction.
At high level, Smash Bros. Becomes a mind game. It becomes a game of think and input.
Absolutely, and man, that Banjo-Kazooie getting the Wonder Wing kill on BKR, and we'll see if he's able to take this remaining stock without losing another one. Because for him to enter into this next game with 2 stocks would be pretty good.
Huge. It'd be huge.
He brings back that from a 2-stock deficit to a 1-stock deficit, which is much more manageable. But this Banjo-Kazooie not making it easy, creating this wall of projectiles that Diddy Kong, that BKR has to kind of sift through. And it's making it very difficult for him to close the gap and get back
what great
into
Smash Bros. Gameplay, if I might add.
Yeah, just 2 characters throwing out peanuts and eggs, and welcome to Super Smash Brothers.
I wonder if this is Egg 2.
Oh, this might be Egg 2, considering he uses eggs as Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Still wondering about the Egg 1, though.
Yeah.
These two, Banjo-Kazooie trying to go for that Wonder Wing, but BKR hitting him out of it, getting the banana, but luckily the grenade saved him there. But BKR having stage control, a very good position for BKR. And shielding the Wonder Wing, getting the forward smash. Is it able to take the stock? It is not. Banjo-Kazooie staying in it, doing everything in his power to not lose his remaining stock. And BKR is trying to go for these smash attacks, which do a lot of damage. Maybe going to go for a banana, and there you see it. Hopefully this banana will be able to take this stock, and BKR coming back on stage. Oh, Banjo-Kazooie going for the grab, and BKR with the perfect spacing, able to sit exactly where he needed to be so that when Wonder Wing finished, he was right there for a forward smash, taking the stock. Great job, BKR. That was a wonderful job.
The Smash guys are making my heart just...
It's stressful. It is a very
I'm not
tense
even
game.
Playing right now, and I'm stressed out.
Yeah, this is a very, very tense game, but BKR, absolutely dominating performance.
It's true.
He did such a good job. And now we're going to go into this next game with only a 1-stock deficit. He brought it back, and hopefully the ideal goal is to allow Talo to go into this next game either with an even stock or even a lead, so that if maybe BKR going into another game with a stock left, that would be huge.
It would.
That would give SAGU a huge advantage and would give Talo a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of breathing room, so that when he goes in the final match, he can just give it everything he's got.
It's true.
But we'll see what he's able to pull off. Right now, we've got, I believe their other 2 players were an Incineroar and a Terry. The Incineroar is going to be very interesting. I assume they're going to pull out the Incineroar next. That would be my assumption.
I would assume.
Just because Chef Louis on that Terry is such a strong anchor, and he really helps create this foundational just powerhouse for their team.
Well, also, it's Terry is a wonderful Wi-Fi character.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, so a lot of characters can't deal with the kind of like the little bit of latency. Terry just does.
Yeah, no problem. Because a lot of his moves either linger long enough, or they're safe enough at a distance, or you're only getting one move anyways, and it just hits like a truck. So it either hits or it doesn't.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing about Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is a very combo-heavy character. So if this lag starts to kind of spike up, it could spell some trouble.
It hurts because, again, Terry is also a very precision-based character, but Terry has a little bit longer of hitboxes, a little bit more options, I personally think, than Diddy Kong.
Yeah, I would agree. And with all these different moves, all the different stages, each of these players on their respective characters have so many things they're thinking about. And, this is basically a giant game of rock, paper, scissors. What we're looking at here is what I like to call 5-dimensional chess.
Okay.
You've got so many moving pieces. You've got so many things that everyone can do. But really, it comes down to options. It comes down to choices. Is this person going to do this? Well, if they're going to do this one move in this one spot, then I want to do this other move in this specific spot to try and capitalize on the fact that they're doing their move. And, that's a pretty standard, game concept, but here, because there's so many things that people are thinking about, it's just at such a high level that it's out of this world.
So like rock, paper, scissors, but like way crazier and way faster.
It's so much faster.
I like the analogy.
And there's cartoon characters, and there's bananas and eggs, and it's a good time.
And guys from fighting games.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And this is what Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a monkey with a banana beating up a fire Pokemon lion tiger thing. It's absolutely wonderful. So we're going to get into this next game. BKR going back down to 2 stocks. And right now, him starting with a 1 stock deficit, that is very much manageable for BKR. And also, Incineroar is a matchup that he can handle very well. Incineroar, if he's able to close the gap and get these really strong hits like that up special we see, that spinning attack, that can be really strong. Oh, is that neutral B?
It is.
Okay. Him getting that neutral B can be very, very strong. And we'll see if which game plan is the one that can take this game here. But BKR doing very good to kind of keep him at a distance with this banana, playing around the banana very, very well, and shooting out a few peanuts here and there. I feel like Peanut is a very underused move like Diddy Kong's.
Pop Gun is a really good conditioning move. So think of it how Banjo has the eggs that he shoots out. It's like, hey, try not to go here. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world if it hits you, but also it's going to disrupt what you're doing in your game plan. Pop Gun's kind of the same way.
Absolutely. And BKR using that to its full advantage. And right now, him trying to go for the up smash and not connecting, but wow, the spacing to avoid that side B from the Incineroar. Literally, it was pixels away.
Yeah.
Pixels away. And now we see it is back down to 2 stocks and 2 stocks, and right there, BKR has just reset the game and has even put SAGU in an advantage, putting the Incineroar at 60%. And it just keeps going up. BKR playing out of his mind right now.
BKR is a menace. What can I say?
Yeah, he is such a good player. He's so consistent. But as we were talking about, there's that revenge. The Incineroar capitalizing on that banana. And look at that. After 1 hit, now BKR's Diddy Kong went from around 40% to 90%.
Yep, using the revenge to charge up that move.
Very, very dangerous. But BKR still playing strong, using the banana, not afraid to go in and get these combos as best he can. And now in a very good position. And getting the forward smash from the banana. And as we're seeing, now he's ahead of stock.
Yep.
And BKR just so good, so consistent, knowing his game plan and being able to execute it to essential perfection. And him, if he's able, oh, and there it is.
The up smash comes out.
The up smash attack from the Incineroar, very strong, able to take that stock off of BKR. And this, whoever can get the next stock will really determine how the end of this game goes, because that will give an advantage to one team. And no, as we talked about last week, this is what we call pineappling. It is so sad. It is a reference to an older Super Smash Bros. Game that looked, one of the stages looked like a pineapple, and a lot of players would get stuck underneath the stage and weren't able to recover.
It was a consistent problem, so it got coined in the community, and now it's
and this is what we see here, that this Incineroar being too far underneath the stage, he wasn't able to go around and actually grab the ledge, which is what you want to grab to recover and get back on, because there's a specific grabbing ledge animation.
Yeah.
But him getting stuck underneath the stage, losing the stock, that means SAGU, BKR, going in this next game, they're a stock up. Going from a 2 stock deficit to a 1 stock lead, BKR, absolute MVP.
Yeah.
Playing out of his mind, did such a good job against the Banjo-Kazooie and against the Incineroar. Just very well done. He is such a good player.
Personally, I'm really excited to see the Diddy Kong Terry matchup. I really am, because that's going to be a lot of really fast, action-packed gameplay and spacing, and just I'm very excited.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You are watching the SAGU Sports Network, the SAGU Lions against Wayne State College, and we are down to 4 stocks at SAGU, 3 stocks at Wayne State. SAGU leads 1-0, and this is a best of 3. So if they can find a way to close out these last 3 stocks against this Terry, that's game. And they are they continue their undefeated streak, going to 3-0 in the ECAC Super Smash Bros. West Division, I believe, as it's referred to.
SAGU winning this game turns the tides of how the competition has been run for the past year.
Yeah.
Because Wayne State has been an undefeated, so Wayne State and Illinois Wesleyan have both been just these undefeated powerhouses, and we're running it back.
Absolutely. We are showing up, giving it our best, and saying, hey, there's another big dog in the ring, and don't underestimate me, Sword Fighter.
And it's
or
in
Diddy Kong.
Waxahachie.
And it's in Waxahachie, Texas, of all places. But we're going to go into this next game, this next match with BKR. He's going to reset down to 1 stock. And we're going to see his... And so BKR's game plan right now, take a stock. If he can get even just 1 stock, that'll put Talo Halo up a stock in this next match, which would be absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And Diddy Kong can show a really strong performance against Terry, but Chef Louie not giving him much room to breathe, playing really well, playing Banana very smart, and not letting that Banana get the better of him, but BKR not giving up without a fight. And pressuring him as much as he can close to the ledge. And the Banana disrupting his kick flip. I believe it's called kick flip. The Terry where he does the like arced kick.
It's like a reverse side B, yeah.
But BKR in a really good position. Gaining stage control, forcing Chef Louie into a defensive position, and is able to get him to 91%, which for a Diddy Kong forward smash at ledge, that's definitely kill percent.
Yep.
But Chef Louie, oh, with that up special.
Not only that, but the input up special. You go, there's a whole other, instead of just doing up B, you go down, up, B, A, whole thing.
Yeah, the thing
Changes
about
the
Terry,
hitboxes.
because he came from another fighting game, a lot of these characters that come from previous fighting games actually keep a lot of their super move button input heavy, like, controls.
Yeah.
And so that's, you know, every character has the basic 27 moves, but some of them have up to close to 40, close to 50. Like, it gets crazy, especially for some of these characters that come from previous fighting games. And Terry is one of them. And so he's got very special inputs that if you do this specific combo, it'll do either like a mix-up move or like a really strong move. And that was one of them, that spin kick up special input. Very strong, kills really early if you can hit it. And wow, Chef Louie doing a great job. But now we're getting into the final game, 3 stocks apiece. This is it. This is the showdown. If Talo Halo can close out this last game, then we're looking at a 2-0 SAGU lead. And so we will see once we get into this next game. All right, and getting into this next game, one of the cool things about Mii Sword Fighter and a lot of the Mii characters is they get to pick what moves they go into a game with. And they get to kind of pick and choose their specials. And because that, because of the scenario that was presented with them this last time, Talo Halo was able to go into this game with an optimal move set. And before, in the last time we saw him play, he was using... Oh, okay.
I was going to comment on that because last game we saw him use Reflector to combat that Banjo-Kazooie, but as we see, he hasn't changed that to his, quick power thrust input. He's keeping it just to deal with the Terry neutral B.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty smart. I think that's a good move. And I think that'll help him kind of have control over neutral. Like we're seeing here, him getting Chef Louie off stage. And Chef Louie getting him to 100%, but not able to take the stock. And Talo Halo playing a really patient game, not getting overzealous, but
again, that input.
Oh, almost taking the stock, it not being enough. And Talo being pressured at ledge, but doing his best to get out of that situation. And opting for a tornado, not able to get it, and Chef Louie
barely
getting that stock. And now Chef Louie ahead of stock at 50%. This is a very good position for him to be in. And we're going to see if Talo can close out this game and get some kind of a lead against Wayne State. As we're seeing, Talo playing smart, playing safe, trying to go for these projectiles, these tornadoes.
Essentially what we're seeing here, Evan, is what happened last time with Talo being down 1, but still able to make a comeback. So will we see it again is the question.
I hope we will. Honestly, Talo Halo's clutch factor is out of this world.
It's true.
Anytime he's in a deficit, it doesn't feel like he's in a deficit. But, oh, Buster Hulk just, wow, doing so much damage. And that's the thing about Terry's Go meter, is that it gives you moves like that are just so strong and kill so early. And Talo Halo down to 1 stock. And we'll see if he's able to take these remaining stocks off of Chef Louie. But Chef Louie,
wow,
get in 1 combo, getting him to 75%. And pressuring him at ledge. Chef Louie in a really optimal position, almost getting the power geyser, not enough. Talo Halo grabbing ledge just in time, regaining stage control. And Terry trying to go for the power geyser and not connecting. But, oh, and there it is. Chef Louie, just an absolute destructive performance. And ladies and gentlemen, it is tied 1-1. We are going to a game 3. Wow.
Kind of understandable, though. I understand where both teams are kind of sitting, and again, maybe it depended on the matchups that they were running, because, you know, granted that both teams had moved a player around, but those same players played each other just in a different order.
Yeah.
I'm again intrigued to see what SAGU chooses to do with their player lineup next.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just as intrigued to see what Wayne State chooses to do. Because if Wayne State chooses to switch up their order, I don't know. I thought what they did the last game was really good. I think starting with the Banjo-Kazooie, getting a pretty solid lead, he was a great starter. He got them that 2-stock lead.
Right.
And then having the Incineroar in the middle, trying to do his best, take as many stocks as he can. And then, I mean, honestly, Chef Louie on Terry as an anchor is just absolutely amazing.
It's scary, yeah.
It is very scary, and it's such a good job. But we're going to see how this Game 3 comes up. And here we are seeing Efer. Uh-oh. He's hovering over Young Link.
He's been dabbling recently.
Oh, I'm very excited. I have yet to see his Young Link in a competitive match. Oh, but there he goes, Luigi.
Yep.
Which is understandable. His Luigi has that pop-off potential, and I really hope we can see that.
You know what that
game.
Conversation was? He hovered over it, and I can hear BKR in the background going, no.
And then he just kind of stares at the screen, and okay.
Well, here's the thing. Efer eats Incineroar. Or at least he has in the past with different Incineroars. This Incineroar is very, very good.
Yeah,
so
very good.
It might be even, but if we see anything, I'd love to see Efer face against the Incineroar. I really would.
Yeah, that would be very, very cool. And that would, I think, would be the best chance for SAGU to have a lead, where Efer against the Incineroar, BKR did great against the Banjo-Kazooie and against the Incineroar. So whatever matchup that lines up against, I think it's BKR's advantage. And then BKR doing as much as he can against the Terry. It was unfortunate that he couldn't get a stock against the Terry, which I think would have been really, really good for Talo.
Yeah.
But we will see what they can do. And I'm hoping that they can, you know, give it all they got and clutch out this Game 3. And as we're waiting for this game, as we're waiting for them to, you know, go into this next match, when you think of player characters, and characters that you have played, what would you say is a very fun character to play? A character that's just
a fun character.
Yeah, fun. Something that where you're just sitting around with your friends and it's just a good time.
I mean, Captain Falcon comes to mind.
Captain Falcon is very fun.
And then you're probably going to disagree with me on this.
You're going to say King K. Rool, aren't you?
King K. Rool is also a great, great fun character because you can hit some crazy stuff.
Yep.
I was going to say Hero.
Ah, there it is. I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that. Me personally, Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong's always
fun. Donkey Kong is so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. But we are going to get... Yeah, okay, as you said, this Incineroar starting for Wayne State, and we might see a really dominant performance by Efer. And Efer starting out strong, trying to go for these grabs. Oh, getting these really good grabs and conversions. Wow, 2 grabs in a row, very good. And he's able to pressure this Incineroar just non-stop, because now he doesn't have to worry about all those projectiles and him getting the plunger. This is a huge, this is huge. Really good by Efer.
I guess Efer's just playing games where up Bs get interrupted by weird little moves.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we saw that with the misfire earlier, and now with the plunger.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh
Efer,
my goodness.
And we are
my goodness.
Almost getting the up special. That probably would have been the stock if he had been able to get that. But now Efer a whole stock ahead, even percent. This is a really good spot to be in. Oh, trying to go for the eye special, not able to connect it. And we're going to see if he's able to get back on stage safely. Avoids the up smash. That was really good by Efer.
Great timing.
And the side B interrupting the grab, which I don't know what the priority is on that.
I mean, it's a command grab, so it has priority over most things.
Efer getting stage control in a really good position. But that Incineroar getting the side B and not taking the stock. Efer stays up, hangs onto his stock for dear life. But the Incineroar getting the up smash.
But at least it traded. At least the Incineroar took some damage from it.
He did. And now Efer getting the Incineroar to 142%. And going the wrong way. That's so unfortunate. And opting for the neutral B. Great spot dodge by the Incineroar to avoid that plunger grab. And this Incineroar not going down without a fight. But Efer getting these really good
and that spacing
combos. Yeah, doing a great job at keeping his distance, not getting hit by a lot of these moves, and getting him off stage. And no, that is so unfortunate. 3 SDs. Oh man, you hate to see it. I mean, you hate to see it when it happens once. That's unfortunate. And that's one of the problems with Incineroar, is that his recovery is so risky. It's so dangerous.
Yeah, I think the word that I like to use for it is it's a very fickle move in the sense of conditions have to be perfect. But when they're perfect, it does work.
Yeah.
And it does great damage. I mean, I think it can even kill at 20%.
Yeah.
That's, again, probably not going to happen in a competitive match.
Probably not.
But it has happened before. I've seen it.
Yeah. But unfortunate. But that is huge for SAGU.
Yeah.
That means that Efer is going to go into this second game with SAGU still at 8 stocks and Wayne State is 6. And this is a reverse of what we saw last game. Now SAGU is the one that's up 2 stocks on Wayne State. And we'll see if Efer can take a stock or 2 in this next game. If he can take a stock or 2 against this Banjo, that'd be really big. The thing is, though, it's a good Banjo and Kazooie.
It is a very good Banjo.
Very good Banjo and Kazooie. And so we're going to see if he's able to pull that off. Honestly, talk about game plan.
Okay.
What's Efer going to do in this? There's lots of projectiles, lots of things he has to deal with. What's he got to do to win? Movement?
Movement, and then getting in those grabs so he can start his combos to add on the damage and, eventually either try and hit that up B, which will kill at very early percents, or trying to, fish for back airs or maybe spikes, or it's kind of just this is a game of stage control.
Absolutely. Stage control, where you are on stage, what you're doing, where you're at, how many options you have, all these things, very, very important. And we're going to get into this next game. Efer's going to reset himself down to 2 stocks, and then we are going to get into this with it being Kalos. I think that's Luigi favored.
I think it's favored for both of them because it gives Banjo the area to use that Wonder Wing effectively, to be able to throw his projectiles around and to also stay on those 2 plats to try and throw those eggs.
Absolutely, and Banjo-Kazooie doing a really good job at getting these eggs into Wonder Wing, but Efer getting the grabs he wants. This is very good, pressuring him off stage, doing a very good job at kind of keeping him at bay. And Efer doing his best to avoid all these little projectiles, but as you can see, these eggs that Banjo-Kazooie keeps throwing out, that's a lot to deal with, and it can be hard to close in and actually get these moves that he needs.
It harshes the approach.
Absolutely, and it kind of creates this sense of wariness and caution where you don't want to approach, because you feel like your options are you feel like you're being choked. But Efer doing really good, keeping himself in, getting good aerials, getting him to high percents, and we'll see if he can take this stock. And this Banjo-Kazooie getting 2 pummels, which is where you not pummels, berries. Yep. Where you essentially bury them into the ground. Getting 2 in a row, that was huge for the Banjo-Kazooie. But Efer having stage control. This is really good. He's in a great position. Trying to go for the back air, not connecting. Getting a parry, but the grenade is going to be able to stall that.
And the forward smash coming out.
Great forward smash by Efer. Doing a really good job at keeping the game as even as possible. Still, and that keeps SAGU with a 2-stock lead. Very, very good. And
now the real question is, can he hit that Luigi 0 to death?
I want to see it. After he gets that plunger grab. Oh no, him.
It's hard. It's hard to get back to stage when Banjo's constantly throwing out little hitboxes that interrupt you.
Oh, that is such a good option.
It is.
Like, wow. And with that, Wayne State bringing it back down. I mean, this is literally verbatim of what we saw, just reversed. And honestly, I wouldn't mind a complete reverse of last game.
Yep.
Meaning SAGU would take game 3. That'd be great. But we will see, because, you know.
It's very even.
Yes, Banjo-Kazooie, very good. Terry, really strong. But BKR, he's got one mean Diddy Kong.
It's very true.
He's got one mean consistent. He's got a great game plan. He knows how to play around the projectiles. You know, if you watch him play, he does a really good job at avoiding them just at the right time to get in, throw banana, and getting some kind of conversion and a bunch of damage. And these combo starters, these follow-up moves that Banjo and both Banjo and Diddy Kong are looking for, I don't know. I think BKR can kind of see through the cracks in his game plan. And I watched him, and his ability to kind of read his opponent is really good.
Some things that I would love to see from BKR's Diddy Kong is using both banana and the grenade that Banjo's going to output. Because, you know, they're both grabbable items, and they're both, in my opinion, items characters. So both players are going to have to know how to navigate either not getting hit by an explosion or slipping on a banana, as funny as that is. And so both players being able to use both as utility in their kit is not going to make or break the game, but definitely hold the tide in a certain aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think that these characters playing around these items, as you said, very item-heavy characters. You have Banjo being able to grab grenade. And, I mean, technically it's not a grabbable item, but egg and platform and bounce pad, I think it's called. I don't know what it's called.
I don't know.
I'll just call it jump pad.
Yeah.
But egg, grenade, jump pad, these are all options.
Also, you can grab the peanuts from Pop Gun.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's so many items that are going to be thrown around, tossed around, lots of projectiles, lots of just brain games of when to throw it, how to throw it, all these different things. That's going to be huge. But we are getting into this next game. BKR is going to, the Banjo-Kazooie is going to go down to 2 stocks. And here we are into this next game. And we'll see if BKR is able to do it. And as we expected, lots of projectiles, lots of neutral, where when we use the term... Okay, the Duke, why don't you explain neutral? What is neutral play?
Well, to explain neutral, I think it's best if I explain advantage, because I think that's the easiest state to understand in Smash Bros. Whereas you are currently comboing someone. So you are in the lead, you're hitting them, and they really can't hit you in that space. Whereas disadvantage is you are being comboed or being hit by your opponent. And neutral is kind of like the fairground between the two, where you're both trying to get an opener into the advantage state and trying to run away from the disadvantage state. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And so these two characters, them kind of fishing for the advantage state, trying to hope for this one specific move that can put them in advantage. And wow, that Wonder Wing is so strong, able to kill at such low percents, especially close to the ledge. And right now, Wayne State resetting it back down to 2 stocks apiece. Both Wayne State and SAGU having 5 stocks to their team. And we're going to see if BKR can try and close out this game and give them some kind of lead. But BKR playing Pop Gun, Banana, being any time Diddy Kong has Banana in his hand, he's a threat.
It's true.
The whole time he has Banana in his hand, he is a very scary monkey.
I would argue that Diddy Kong is simply a threat.
Yeah, all the time. I would agree with you. And like him having Banana in his hand, it doesn't add to his threat level, it multiplies it.
Correct.
Because anytime Banana is, and him grabbing Grenade and using it against him, but Wonder Wing being so strong, but Monkey Flip. Yep. And he has as many as he wants. So both these characters actually have a very similar play style now that I'm kind of looking at it. It's just Diddy Kong is a lot more aggressive, a lot more advantage-heavy character. And going to that forward smash and getting the stock.
Yeah, I was going to say, Banjo is a little bit more of the sit back and throw down a projectile, whereas Diddy Kong will throw that projectile, but in the hopes of being able to either get a grab or get something that will combo into something else.
Yeah, absolutely. Diddy Kong is a lot more aggressive. Banjo-Kazooie is a lot more neutral, a lot more patient. But both players playing to their strengths very, very well. And BKR using Banana. And
use of Wonder Wing.
Using a Wonder Wing for fun, for fun. Yeah, just because he wants to. We can do that. He doesn't need all 5. And these aerial attacks coming out from both. Oh, wow. Great Banana. But, man, as we're saying, that Wonder Wing is so strong. And the great thing about Diddy Kong recovering against Banjo is Monkey Flip is so fast.
Yeah, and that just kills.
Yeah, and that down tilt killing. But Monkey Flip is so fast, he doesn't really have to worry about the eggs off stage because he can go underneath them and move so quickly that they're not really a threat.
Yeah, for the most part. I agree with that.
But BKR seeing the full might of all these projectiles, getting forced off stage, but doing his best, getting a Banana to try and disrupt the game plan of this Banjo-Kazooie. And both playing a pretty heavy neutral.
I mean, it's an even game.
It's a very even game, and both with enough well-placed hits, that could be the stock. So both are actually playing pretty safe, pretty reserved, getting the up special. That was huge for BKR. Going for the down tilt, pressuring. What?
I've never seen that.
Monkey Flip can grab against Wonder Wing. That is huge. And BKR using that to his full advantage. It being a command grab is,
I mean, I know that it was a command grab, but that's Wonder Wing.
Wow, BKR getting the Banana into the forward smash. That command grab was huge.
Yeah, it was 10 million IQ.
I always assumed Wonder
genius.
Wing. I mean, BKR, just different level, different kind of player. I always thought Wonder Wing was kind of like the
end all be all.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mini smash move. Like a
mini final smash?
Yeah, it's a mini final smash, but apparently it is not immune to command grabs.
Diddy Kong just said, nope.
No, my command grab is better than your limited ultra death move.
I will say, coming from a stock down and a deficit,
wow,
that was a phenomenal game played by both BKR and the Banjo-Kazooie.
Both of them did a really good job, and BKR, once again, keeping this lead was strong. Very well played. But also that Banjo-Kazooie did a great job at keeping it still within manageable, within a manageable difference.
Sure, yeah.
And wow, this is a good game.
Do
wow.
Do you think that? Sorry, I'm just thinking. If a command grab can knock Banjo out of Wonder Wing, and granted, I don't watch a lot of Banjo gameplay. He's not a character that I really play. Do you think that Steve Minecart could grab him out of Wonder Wing, or do you think that Wonder Wing would interrupt the hitboxes of Minecart and break Minecart?
Steve's Minecart is very interesting.
So that breaks the game in of itself. Because it's a projectile command grab that also has hitboxes. So sometimes it doesn't grab you and it just pushes you.
Yeah, and as we said last week, a hitbox is a codified mechanic for doing damage to someone else. And Steve, who's a character in this game who came from Minecraft, where you build things and all that different stuff, he has an ability that shoots out a minecart. Well, when he's in the minecart, it does damage to the opponent.
Yeah.
When he's not in the minecart, it grabs the opponent against their will.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. But I don't know. I
want to lab it now.
Yeah, I honestly think the minecart would win that. I really do.
I don't know, man. I think Wonderwing. Wonderwing's just too good of a move.
Really? Well, we just saw a small monkey grab him out of it.
That's very true.
So I don't know. Like, anything's possible in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at this point. I mean,
guess that's fair.
But we are about to hop into this next game with BKR versus Chef Louie on Terry. He's got such a good Terry. And we're about to see if, I mean, as we said, when you've got one stock, your job is to get one on the opponent. Just get one stock. That's your game plan. So we're going to see if BKR can get that one stock and hopefully put Halo in an advantage. That would be the ultimate game plan. But going into this next game, we're going to see what the game plan is. And Chef Louie going right for the offensive. Now having Banana, not able to use it. But wow, putting on a lot of damage really early. Terry being such a good character for that. And using Banana, now BKR being at 85%. This is a bad spot to be in for BKR, but
98.
But monkey
that
flip,
was risky.
That was very risky. If he had timed that forward smash right, that would have been it. But now this Terry, 82%, both are at kill percent. BKR bringing it back with just a couple combos. And now we will see who's able to take the stock off of the opponent. BKR playing around Banana very well. And, and there he goes, catching the peanut. And BKR using forward tilt to try and pressure him off stage. Oh, reading the monkey flip, I think. Getting the power, guys. Wow.
I almost want to say that was auto turnaround.
Yeah, probably.
Because I've seen things similar, and I think that it auto turned around through to hit him in that monkey flip because that barely caught. That was incredible.
Wow, what a read! Whether it was a read or not,
I'm going to say that it probably was, and he probably knew the auto turnaround would do that.
Yeah,
because he knows his character.
Yeah, probably. What a read by Chef Louie.
That's insane.
That was, and I mean, BKR did really good getting him to kill percent, but man, that was just such a good, good string by Chef Louie. And now we're back to it. The three stock, Halo versus Chef Louie. And I mean, last game we really saw Halo struggle against this Terry gameplay. So we'll see if he can.
You know what Halo does? Is Halo adapts, as well as Chef Louie. And I think that's why Chef Louie was able to get that upper hand on him last time that they kind of duked it out. But this time, I'm wondering if Taylor is going to replace that reflector with his power thrust.
You think so?
I don't know.
I think that, honestly,
I don't know. It's not my character.
He used Reflector a good bit, and it helped him. But I think having the Power Thrust, which is so quick, does so much damage. It's a kill move. It's like really fast, and it can cross up depending on where you hit it. I don't know. I think Power Thrust. I think either one.
Either one is a good way to a good option to go for. It just adds another element to the game that Chef Louie is gonna have to play.
No, absolutely. Just that one move can change so much about the outcome of the game, the play styles, how both players kind of read each other and try to predict what they're going to do.
Right.
Like, I mean, Power Thrust is a whole mechanic now that you have to worry about of him just shooting it out and getting a bunch of damage. And I think, personally, just the mix-up alone could prove to be very effective.
I'm sorry. No, Taylor.
Taylor,
there we go.
Isabel is, as I have recently discovered, is not a good character.
Not a good character. So,
yes, but Me Sword Fighter isn't either. But the thing about Halo is that his Me Sword Fighter is
Power Thrust.
Yeah, that 1-3-2-3 Me Sword Fighter means he is going Power Thrust, which honestly, that mix-up alone, I think is going to change so much about how this game is played.
Yeah.
And honestly, even if he doesn't use it,
he went 1-3-2-2.
Oh, he switched back to Reflector.
He did.
Okay. Wow. At the last second, switching back to Reflector. Him having confidence in that Reflector gameplay. And you know what? I trust him. I think he can do it with the Reflector.
Are you ready to see some super mashing if he gets grabbed?
I am. I am very ready. But here he goes, playing neutral, playing a good neutral, being patient, trying to go for these these early leads.
Okay.
And him playing really smart, but Terry able to close the distance very quickly. And wow, the cross up. And going for a landing neutral air attack. Very good. Getting the grab, throwing him off stage. And he's pressuring him really well. And Taylo trying to get these combos going with both at pretty even percent.
Pardon our quietness. We are.
Yeah, we
are very.
There is so much going on, and both players playing really well, playing really patient. This neutral is so smart and methodical, and that poking through the shield.
Yep. Which is a mechanic where when your shield gets smaller, if you are hit by a hitbox or a move that is hitting you but not your shield, it is still going to hit you.
Yeah, and that mechanic alone can make a lot of moves very effective. And like as we saw there, just
amazing.
Great DI and Power Geyser.
Yep.
Terry with that go meter is so dangerous. But Taylor giving himself as much wiggle room as possible. Trying to take his lead and getting the dash attack and not taking the stock. And wow, what a great air dodge by Chef Louis. But that forward tilt takes a stock, and now down to 2-2. Taylor doing really good. So is Chef Louis. I mean, both of these guys are just...
it's an even game.
It is an even game. This is as even gets. And these guys are playing absolutely out of their mind. Playing very, very well. Oh, almost getting the spike there.
I was about to say, if that was maybe 20% higher, we would have seen
that would have been
Halo be gone.
Absolutely. But Taylo doing his best, keeping a slight lead, and extending that lead as much as he can. Trying to go for these tornado up airs, pressuring Chef Louis off stage. Ooh, going for the risky forward smash. Gets hit by it, but not too bad. Still keeping a strong lead.
Go meter turn on becomes a very scary situation for Taylor Halo.
Once that go meter is up, everything becomes so much more dangerous. Like that Power Geyser, as you saw, that thing can kill really early, but Taylor, great grab there. Really good option.
I wonder if Chef Louis has been practicing this, because he is dealing with Tornado like a champ.
Yeah, he's doing really good against this Tornado neutral. And Taylor going for these hopeful kill confirms. See that up smash and
yep, true combo. Oh my goodness.
And now the percentages are reset with that one move. But both players playing patient, playing safe, lots of shields, but
man, it's almost as if his character turns around on his own.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
I don't know if that one was actually auto turnaround. It seemed like he knew where Taylor was going.
Honestly, I think a lot of these are him just knowing, if that had connected, that probably would have been at least close to the stock. But man, Taylor is 74%, but we've seen him in these situations before. Taylor is the king of clutch. He knows how to get stuff done, and look at that, Terry now 50%. It's pretty even.
It's scary because they're both at a last stock situation, last game of the actual match. Oh my goodness.
And the next stock will win this set. Terry getting a lot of damage, but Taylor playing really smart. Capitalizing on a lot of these mistakes. Pressuring. Hoping for a tornado here. Because a well-placed tornado would be exactly what he needs.
Or a grab, or...
And trying to close out this stock.
Without trying to use it, that is...
And going for the double up
my goodness,
air
look at the
and
pop-off.
taking the stock. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Getting the missing that first up air, but then reading the DI.
It was the weak hit red DI into the strong hit of up air.
All right, we're using so many terms.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to try and break, we're going to try and break this down for you. So he, in that last little exchange, they are playing neutral, they're playing safe, and Taylor Halo gets the grab. For me, Sword Fighter, this is huge
Correct.
at the percent, because that is what's known as a kill confirm. If you can get that grab, go into a down throw, it has a set projectile where if you can read where they're going to move in the air, you can hit them with an up air, and it's almost a guaranteed stock. The thing is, though, you have to be extremely precise with your up air, because there's two different ways you can hit someone. You can hit someone with the really strong kill confirm hitbox or the really weak hitbox, and that's the one we don't want. So when Halo grabs him, does the down throw, he shoots up, goes for the up air. That first up air was that softer hitbox.
It has hitboxes on the side that are going to send off either up or away. I believe
like
it's away.
Sideways.
And it also depends on what the opponent does, which is called the directional input, and that's going to move an opponent a certain way based on the hitbox. So what happened is that weak hitbox hit, Chef Louis had DI'd, most likely out, I believe.
Yeah.
And Halo reading this, used his second jump to jump in and use the strong hitbox of that move, just barely catching onto Terry's legs and taking that last stop.
Wow.
Amazing.
And this is why Halo is just such a strong fighter in this Smash Bros. Ring, because his ability to just make those last second.
I mean, literally, probably about the span of like a second to a second and a half, all of that happened, and he knew.
And he knew exactly what was going on. He knew what he needed to do. Him reading Chef Louis' directional input, getting that up air, and the second one, making sure it's the strong hitbox. So well played. And honestly, we saw really good performances from every single one of these SAGU Lions. Efer getting some really strong pop-offs, some getting really pivotal stocks, especially in that third game. And then BKR, oh my goodness gracious.
Matchup.
Like BKR just doing so well, playing with the banana matchup, knowing how to play against this Banjo-Kazooie, getting stocks off the Terry even, and Halo. The clutch master.
He's just good.
Being able to close out these last-second high-tension games. And there you have it, the SAGU Lions continuing their undefeated streak, going 3-0. SAGU winning 2-1 against Wayne State. That was
the reigning champions, I might add.
The reigning champions of the last competition last semester. And SAGU just proving how strong just proving how strong they are. And honestly, does that make SAGU the reigning champions as of right now? I mean,
that's up for debate. We'll let the viewers decide.
Yeah, put in the comments wherever you're watching this from.
You do have to win the championship.
Okay, but we beat the reigning champions. So
but this is where it gets controversial.
I don't know.
And that's why it's not our decision to make.
All right, yeah.
Hey, tell you what, we'll come back to this question
once we see people in playoffs. There you go. Once we see you in playoffs, we'll see how this goes. But I think that's going to be it for this SAGU Sports Network broadcast. My name is Evan the Astro Kid, and I've got here...
I'm the Duke.
And this has been so much fun. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep in mind, we've got Valorant on Tuesday nights, which is a phenomenal game. We've got Rocket League on Wednesday nights and Call of Duty on Friday nights. And here, Super Smash Brothers on Monday nights on the SAGU Sports Network. Also, shout out to the SAGU Esports broadcast, YouTube, all the things. Go... follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the things. We'd love to get your feedback. Please talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell us how, that literally on the edge of your seat, everything. We want to know it all.
I know
we
I
were
was.
here. Yeah, I'm standing, half the time I wasn't even commentating because I was so invested in the game. And so this has been it for the SAGU Sports Network, and we will see you guys tomorrow.